Attorney Commander J.R. Galpohkpa Chesson supports the light of Liberia, Darius Dillon, for Monserrato County Senator. Vote number 2 on December 8th, 2020. Change Liberia now. Good morning, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women, welcome to Attorney Commander J.R. Galpohkpa Chesson Talk Show. Today is December the 4th. I wake up this morning looking forward to a better future for my country and my people. This is another day, my people. Freedom in Liberia, freedom for Liberian people is our message to the world today. Well, good morning. My lessons or my topics for today are breaking down of a nation, Liberia. 2, where does political change in a nation emerge from? And number 3, why Darius Dillon for Monserrato County? Let's get into my first topic. Breaking down of a nation. My people, look all around you. You're living in Liberia. Look all around you. Our nation has broken down. Our system of democracy, our system of law and order, our system of justice and accountability have all broken down. Where are we now? Right now in Liberia, we have no lights. We have no running water. We have no education. Our children are out of school. We have no work. The masses of Liberian people are out of work. We have no food. Our people cannot be fed. And most of all, too, we have no money. Our money has been stolen. Now, I just read in Front Page Africa where President George Weah said that he has broken no law, that a referendum must go on. How would our president ever abide by the law? The whole legal system, the whole system of law and justice in our country is broken down. And if you Liberian people are not conscious of this fact, keep hanging on. TWT, time will tell. But as things unfold in Liberia, as the realism of what is happening in your country, with your leaders constantly stealing, with everything in our country on the downward trend, sooner or later, the whole nation will come to the realization that change is necessary. Change is necessary. Because our whole system is broken down, our health system. Our people can die for anything in Liberia. How long will we do this? How long, my people? How long will governments of our own nation and people continue to rob us, continue to steal the wealth and resources of our country, continue to see the masses of our people suffering and dying from common cold, diabetes, stroke, all these things that are controlled in the world today and can be brought in Liberia to save our people. But how will it happen? Our health system is totally broken down. No money to pay the workers. The nurses are striking. No money to pay the doctors. No supplies in the hospital. And every year from the time Liberia being founded, our presidents travel out of Liberia to America. Now they're going to Ghana and Guinea and Nigeria. Why? When we are the bastion of democracy, of freedom, of hope on the continent of Africa. The first Negro Republic of proud, diligent, and strong men and women, intellects. Who are we today? We are nothing but muya, 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 muya. Yo, yo, yo. Wow, ja, 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 ja. Muya, 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 muya. Yeah. That's who we are today. We're nothing but tribal dancers with red hats and blue hats and purple hats and these different hats no shirts. And we just running around. Muya, muya, ja, 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 ja. And no food in our country. Our people living in darkness. Look at British Radio. That's what Gali was talking. How when the light go in one area, it ain't coming back. It ain't coming back for a while. They can't do that show every day because light in a certain area on this certain time of the day. This is craziness, my people. This is craziness. When I left Liberia, our nation was lit. There was hardly any talk or light going on off in the city. That whole Monrovia, you could travel across Monrovia and there would be light 24 hours a day. The only places we used to have problem with lights, that up country, Continental College, and all the things where the lights used to go every often. And we had to strike to bring it back. But in the city of Monrovia, people been living in darkness since the 1990s. That today we still living in darkness. Something gotta be wrong, people. Either our leaders crazy or we crazy. Something gotta be wrong, or both are crazy. You know, our country can't be like this. Our country can't be so broken down. And y'all think diaspora, Liberians won't come home to live in that darkness? No hope of bringing lights? The only time we can enjoy our country is in daylight. At night, we got to run home and lock ourselves up. Then they're talking about enjoyment in our country. How can you enjoy a country when you can only enjoy it during daylight? Life night is totally non-existent. What kind of country we living in? Y'all let children in Liberia, y'all will die with no light. Y'all will be born in darkness and die in darkness. Is that what y'all want? That's why I can't come home. Because I live like this to my adolescence, to my adulthood, to my manhood. Then I left and came to this country. And my country is not getting better. The rogues are many. They can't stop. The criminals are many. They can't stop. The warlords are infused in the government. We can't have peace and stability. We can't have normal lives. People are still living in fear. Now you're going to ritualistic killing. Our country is totally gone. Then how will we come home to help our country? My children, I am pleading with Gali, as for Gali in Liberia, to leave Liberia and come back to America. Because the mentality of our people, y'all don't understand the mentality of our people. Then we'll go Liberia from the West. You compare things with America in Liberia. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. You don't understand what you're saying. You think everything they say in America is good in Liberia. Let me give you one example. The reason why I tell him Ashwa Gali to come home is because he doesn't understand what he's saying. We are so infused with American society. We go to Liberia and our mentality is mixed up. People from the diaspora, our mentality are mixed up. And when we go and talk in Liberia and think we're being civilized or something and we talk things that are stupid, it causes problem for us. Now let me give you an example. After Gali started, as for Gali, the host of British Radio, yesterday after his show, after he got to blasting everybody, then he started talking. Borka had already stated that he's a race car. He's not sleeping no more. He's woken up. He's the race car. He ready to jump in the race. So Gali comes on the TV and wants to praise Borka. And he says, Borka is not even a race car. He's an antique car. Because antique cars in America are preserved, they are due to that. That's the wrong. That's the wrong analogy you giving. That's the wrong example you giving, Gali. A race car is different from an antique car. When the president say he's a race car, or the candidate says he's a race car, that means he's fast, he hopped up, he got super engine and ready to move. Then you tell him he's an antique. Anybody in Liberia, yeah, you calling the president an antique, will know that you don't know what you're talking. In Liberia, anybody here antique. The new things that are working in Liberia, the good things, the new cars and things they're buying, when they break down, they can't work. What you think about antique in Liberia, something we call antique, that means it's not working. It's ancient for the Liberian society. But you come in here with your American mentality. Yes, in America, even in America, you can't compare a race car with an antique car, man. Come on. A race car going around the lap 30, 40 times in minutes. Can an antique car do that? So why will you equate the energy of a Boca to an antique car? Right there, you create problems for yourself because you're talking things. You're not thinking about what you're talking. You're just coming from America with this American mentality and taking it to Liberia and not listening to what you say. Liberian people are not stupid. Liberian people know antique. And in Liberia, when they say it's antique, you better don't touch it. You better don't touch it. It's antique. That's the real word. Ain't moving, ain't working. It's gone. So you go and quit or relate the life of the president of the one party, the standard bearer of one party, to an antique. You put yourself in problem. So when you don't know Liberian society, and you don't know or think fast enough to understand what the people are trying to say, and you want to compliment them, but you're complimenting them with things in American society. Not even American society. Just making frivolous statements that don't even relate to what the people saying in Liberia. Then you create problems. That why as soon as you start talking, I say, Golly, come home. That place not for you. You will create problem for yourself. You got to know what you're talking now. Because Liberians right now are confused. Our people in our own society are inherently corrupt, are inherently deceitful, are inherently treacherous. Now yet the other diaspora people coming to add on to this trouble with their ignorance of Liberian society, with their ignorance of what they're saying. You got to be careful what you're saying. And that's why education is significant. And because education doesn't even help, doesn't only help you to speak eloquently, to write and prolifically. It helps you to discern situations, to know when to say things and when not to say things, and to know the difference of what you're saying and what matters. That's the prayer of serenity. Everything we do relates to Christianity. We are a Christian nation, and the more we don't understand the Christian teachings, we fail. Because we come and we want to lean on the foundation of Christianity, and we don't know Christian teachings. So you come in with talking about Christian, and you never read the Bible. You never understood the teaching of Jesus Christ. You never understood the philosophy of the Christian faith, the foundation upon which it is buttressed. So how will you be able to speak profoundly as a Christian when you're not rooted in Christianity? Going to church, listening to the pastor, all of they're not Christianity. That's just the act of fulfilling a part of Christianity, which is to spread the word of God, to congregate with other Christians, to bring God in your midst. But it's not Christianity. It's the fruit of Christianity that we carry on. But Christianity, you have to understand the root of Christianity. It's reading the Bible. It's understanding the teachings of Jesus Christ. It's understanding why Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Jesus Christ is not a son of God for every race, for every religion. He's not a son of God for our voodoo religion in Liberia. So when our tribal people say God, they're not talking about the God of Jesus Christ, of the God of Israel. They're not talking about him. They're talking about their tribal gods. So if you go there and you think doing juju and the man say God and you thinking that the God of Jesus Christ, you must be stupid. You must be a dumb idiot. Jesus Christ, God, is not any kind of God. There are many gods. So when people tell you God, you got to ask them, Jesus Christ? Because when you call God name, it could be any kind of God. But the God we serve, especially a Gentile or people who are not, anybody who is not a Jew, they call you Gentile. So we are all Gentiles. We are not Jews. So we cannot rely on the teachings of the Old Testament to give us roots in Christianity. No, we rely on Jesus Christ and the teachings of Jesus Christ that gave us the right to worship the God of Israel. Other than through Jesus Christ, maybe you got to go through Muhammad with the Islam and pray 5 times a day, make sacrifices all your life, learn how to repeat all the verses of the prophets and all of that, because of the greatness of Islam, to show you no knowledge of religion. Oh, the prophet this or the prophet that, or the prophet of the fourth order, and the prophet of the fifth order, the prophet this, the great Abu Kapaba said, the great woman that. I don't play in all of that. Jesus Christ is simple. Jesus Christ doesn't expect you to learn nothing about the prophets. He expects you to do nothing to that. Your job is to read the Bible. And if you're not an erudite or educated person, all you gotta do is read the New Testament because it's simple enough, and that's enough ideal from Christianity to enlighten people who just want to be Christians and don't know the roots of Christianity. And the Old Testament, you can learn it from church. When you go to a church and give you pamphlets and things. But if you're Christian, you must read the New Testament. You must understand the simplicity of Jesus' teaching. Because if you're not educated, that's a simple part of the Bible. The Old Testament now is for people who want to advance their education into the knowledge of Christianity, the foundation of Christianity. So all these things add to our society breaking down. When we say we're Christians and we don't know the teachings of Jesus Christ nor the teachings of the Old Testament, we are lukewarm. And Jesus talked about this all the time. Jesus does not deal with lukewarm Christians. Lukewarm Christians will always submit themselves to the things of this world and not to the things of the spiritual. Because when you come from the spiritual, when wrong is wrong, it's wrong. When right is right, it's right. And nobody can change your mind or change your condition or change your life. It's like blue color. Blue is blue. You can't look at blue and tell me it's green. Only an idiot or a person with color blindness can do that. So when you tell me blue, you see blue and you say, Chesson, this is green. The first thing I ask you, can you see? If you say no, are you colorblind? No, but then something wrong with you, brother. You need to go to your doctor. You got a visual problem. Okay? And I will not get involved with giving you morphographical error, the Liberian language. Morphographical error. That's error of the mouth. That means you're talking BS. We learned that from the Liberian people that were interviewing today. They asked the guy, and did why did you do something? He said, no, that morphographical error. That's a new Liberian language. Morphographical error. So I will not make morphographical errors here. I will try not to. I will preserve the right not to make morphographical errors in the Liberian community, okay? But we got to get ourselves correct. We got to know our country is almost non-existent. You can't have a people just living in darkness. Then when the light come, the light can't get to 100 watts, it's 60 watts, 65 watts. It's like I know how that kind of license it because they're not low, that kind of light. 60, 65 watts, that lantern. So even with the light you got from the LEC, you're still living under the wattage of lanterns. So there's a problem in our society. Our society is constantly breaking down. And Liberian people, it doesn't take a genius to figure out there's something wrong with your country. Although you were born in war and darkness and don't know any better. And when you get one light, you think that's the best light in Liberia ever had. But if you don't come out of this utopian dream of democracy, this utopian dream of honesty, this utopian dream of decency, this utopian dream of Liberianism, when you wake up and see the reality of your lives, when you grow older, right now you're 17, 18, the masses of the Liberian population in a minority. That means you're under 21. So they're using your think everything is money and good things. No, you got to learn your education. When you learn and graduate from high school and enter college, that when your mind slowly started to open. I'm 65 years old almost, So my eyes beginning to open. Sometimes it takes longer. We've been through trauma. We've been through despair. We've been through frustrations. All of that threw us off. Now we got to come back to our center. We got to focus on who we are. Attorney Commander J. Americo-Galpohkpa Chesson does not want to follow his father's footsteps. I don't want to follow my mother's footsteps. I want to make my own foundation. So when I tell people I don't want to be with this anymore, it's not because I hate you. It's not because of money or property or anything. No, I'm tired. I'm just tired. I'm tired with Liberian societal living. I'm tired with Liberian societal thinking. I'm tired with all the family alliances that keep us down and frustrate us. I am a free thinking, free living, free fighting Liberian man. I don't follow nobody. I am educated. I am enlightened. I am a leader of the West African Republic of Liberia. I will not follow anybody. I will not follow any family. I will not follow any friends who I do not think are competent to set the pace and standard for my personal progress and advancement. Sometimes your own family can hold you down. Sometimes your own friends can hold you down. Sometimes your own family can hold you down. And if you continue following that trend, and you see every day they take one step backward, they take two steps, they take one step forward, they take two steps backward. You cannot continue living with that family. You will be in sin like that family. You got to take a bold step and say, I'm cutting you off. My life is different. I cannot live like my father. I cannot live like my mother. I cannot live in the 1970s and 1980s no more. I am of forward thinking Liberian man. If Liberians want to join me and let us think forward and change the trajectory of our country, change the destiny of our people, change the fate of our progress and advancement, follow Commander Chesson. This is the end of my first lesson. Let's take a break. Then I will come back with my second lesson. Because Liberia must change. Our country and people must become conscious of the fact that our system of civility, our system of organization, our system of law, our system of order, our system of health, our system of societal living is broken down. And if you can't face it, you got a problem. And it in Commander Chesson's. Let me take my break, folks. A light in Liberia's darkness. Lux in tenebris. Light in darkness. Vote number 2 on December 8, 2020. Darius the Light Dillon for Montserrat County Senator. Let's get together. It's good to be back, my peoples. So let's get to my second lesson. Where does political change in a nation emerge from? I was listening to Henry Costa this morning, and he was talking about you even with 10 Dylans in the Senate, Liberia cannot change. Even with 10 Darius Dillanses in the House of Legislature of Liberia, also Senate of Liberia by chamber. I was just thinking about the House of Senate cannot change Liberia. Only the president of Liberia can change Liberia. This is what Henry Costa said. Now, I'm not a big Costa fan. I know him. I know Costa I know his parents from Kirisway, you know, and I have nothing with Costa. But when we play with politics, we have to understand the message we send it to our people. Power, change, politics in Liberia does not rest on the president. It does not rest on the legislature. It rests on the Liberian people. So when you tell the Liberian people that political change rests on the president or the Senate or the legislature, you do not understand your constitution. You are immature to the system in Liberia, and because you are immature, the people you are leading, you are teaching them the wrong things, and they will believe that too. That only the president has the power in Liberia to change Liberia. No, 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 no. That's what we have believed for so long. That's why our people are so submissive, and they fail people to rise up as independent men and women with thinking faculties of our own. When our people tell us that the president of Liberia is above the people of Liberia, you don't know what you're talking. You don't know the Constitution of Liberia, because the preamble of the Constitution tells us that all inherent power in Liberia rests in the Liberian people. So how you come and tell our people that our country cannot change except we elect a good president? You are enslaving our people and our country to a destiny of destitute, of failure, of corruption. This is not our constitution. All powers in Liberia rest on the heads of the Liberian people. If you don't take your destiny into your own hands, why you think right now, Dylan? Oh, I gotta do it this way. Okay, Dylan is the man from Maserado County. Why you think so? If the people were not behind Dylan, would Dylan be where he is right now with the popularity he has garnered from the Liberian society? So how can you tell me that 10 Dylans cannot change Liberia? 10 Dylans can change Liberia. One Dylan has changed Liberia. So what you telling us? Is that jealousy? Is that animosity? Because something gotta be wrong when you come and tell the people 10 Dylans cannot change Liberia. Only the president of Liberia can change Liberia. That's a falsity. That's a lie. And that's a total ignorant statement from a man who wants to lead Liberian people. When you rise up to change our country and you have the support of the people, it's not about the president. No, it's about law and order, justice, freedom, pursuit of happiness of the people. I ain't got time for George Weah. George Weah be dealt with when I look at the acts of the government that have caused our people to suffer. Then I challenge him. Why you think I challenge George Weah right now? Why you think I would challenge any Liberian right now? Because the president doesn't matter to me. If the president does right, I will honor him. If the president is an inherent rogue, an inherent murderer and ritualistic killer, an inherent destroyer of my country, why would I want to respect that kind of idiot? A president who's not a Christian go form a church and call himself preacher of a fucking church. That is not a man for a Christian like me to respect and honor. That man is a demon in my sight. He's a fucking dite and needs to go to hell right now. So you can tell George Weah that. You can tell all the people that go in the fucking church that. Christians don't follow deceitful liars and criminal murderers. Jesus Christ's pulpit is not a pulpit for ritualistic killers and national rogues and bandits who want hang together and forget about the masses of the people's needs. What's wrong with our people? What's wrong with our young leaders. What's wrong with y'all? When y'all want to lead people, y'all got to understand, or else we'll continue in this confusion, in the state of negativity, in the state of ignorance, because our leaders don't know what they're talking. They just come and focus things. If you're fighting the president, yes, this is the right time. Let get rid of him because we get rid of that man, he can change the country. Why Ellen didn't change the country? If that thinking was like right, why Ellen Johnson Sirleaf didn't change Liberia? Why Amos Sawyer, Fambule, Tipote, what the other criminals' name? And Bromsky, Vonnie Sherman, Federal Banks, why all these people got there and didn't do FUSA? They didn't do FUSA. We're right back where we are today. Because leadership, change, progress, development, blessings, advancement comes from the people. God is with the people. God is not where we are. God is not with the criminals in the legislature. When Jesus came, did he go to the Pharisees and the Sadducees? No. He went in the wilderness with his people and dealt with them. So I'm not Jesus Christ. I ain't want to think about that kind of thing because my soul will be condemned. But I'm a man. I believe in taking my people and removing it from the corruption, removing them from the stealing, removing them from the inefficiency, removing them from the ineptitude, removing them from the tribalism, removing them from the social division, and taking my people in the wilderness with me. Let us go start our own country because that's what we do when I come home. I ain't gonna live in that mess you're living in. I ain't gonna live in that social degradation you're living in. I ain't gonna be living in that poverty of a fucking nation you're living in. I gotta find a better destiny for the people who will follow the Tony Commander, J. Galpohkpa Chesson. I don't care about family following me. I don't care about friends following me. I want people who know what they stand for and what they want and willing to work assiduously toward achieving their goals. So that's my second lesson. Change comes from the people. And until the Liberian people are conscious that they are their own masters and they are their own destinies because their desires, their leadership ambitions, their leadership goals, their leadership vision is not what the fucking preacher and his church government is perpetrating over the Liberian people. And until you can come to your senses and realize that the president is not the maker of change in the Liberian society. The president is not the maker of change. Don't let Henry Costa fool you. He may be a good advocate, but to know our laws, he ain't reached that far. So he cannot deceive you and tell you that when you change the president of Liberia, the country will change. Because then your dependency remains on one person sitting in the seat. No, the power of the Liberian people comes from our ability to associate, to align ourselves with educated people, to align ourselves with people who will teach us, to socially gather, to socially speak free, to socially associate with anybody we want to associate with. That's the Constitution of Liberia. It does not come from the president. It comes from our laws. So if any leader tells you that the power of the Liberian nation rests on the president, they are taking you into dictatorship and not democracy. Learn, my children. Learn. That's why I'm here to teach you. I don't care about political views, but when people expound those views, it's my responsibility as a teacher to tear it apart as I see it and let you know what I think. I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care what you think. That is my divine, religious, and spiritual duty to my people to set them on the right path. I don't got money to give you. I ain't got silver and gold to give you. I can't build your mansion and things that fucking weird and stealing the money and things like that. I'm not that kind of man. I'm the man to strengthen your mind. I'm a man to make you stop and think. When you're going somewhere, I won't change you, but I will tell you that way you're going is wrong. You go there, you fail. So you won't go? Go. But you've been warned. You've been told by Chesson. You can't say Chesson didn't tell you. You can't say Chesson deceived you. You can't say Chesson lied to you. Go through all my videos. That's why I'm making videos now. So nobody can say Chesson lied to us. Or Chesson didn't tell us the right thing. Or Chesson deceived us. Or Chesson taught us ignorant BS. No, no, no. The proof is in the pudding. The Tony Commander, Americo-Liberian Chesson, demonstrates his work by striving for excellence. And if you people can't understand that, you are still in the wilderness, and I cannot help you. The time of the Liberian people is now. So, my people, let's get prepared to go into my third topic. As the day begins, the time flows with the people. Ha! Aluta! Light in darkness. Liberia must change. Liberia must grow. We need a light. I propose the light in darkness. Lux in tenebris. Darius, the light, Dylan. Vote for number 2 on December 8th, 2020. The word of the commander, your attorney. Well, my people, I hope I haven't made any morphographical errors thus far. Errors of the mouth. That's Liberian language. Check the Liberian Dictionary 101. Morphographical error. Errors of the mouth. Now, let me put my topics up. Let's find out what my final topic is for the evening. Why Darius Dillon for Montserrat County? Why Darius Dillon for Montserrat County? Every county in the Republic of Liberia need new leaders. Every county throughout the Republic of Liberia need educated, wise, prudent, sacrificial, serving leaders. If our people are not willing to make sacrifices for our country, why do you think they will make sacrifices for you? They will not. And unlike Henry Costa, I don't ascribe to that teaching that the president is the head of making changes in our country. No, all we need is one strong, devoted, fearless leader to stand up and talk, and the Liberian people will follow. And that was Darius Dillon has done. He doesn't have money. People all over rallying up money for him. Yes, he been in the system for a long while, but he been educating himself. He been growing and learning. Now, maybe Darius Dillon don't know the full ramifications of his actions, of his statements, but he's sincere. And when you're sincere in what you're doing, it's hard for people to just come and bash you and destroy you because everything you have rests upon honesty, rests upon your little knowledge of the Constitution and laws and being able to relate those to the physical lives of our people. If you can't relate what the Constitution is saying in writing, if you can make it come alive in society with the Liberian people, then you are incompetent. That's what we call ultimate ineptitude. Because that's the job of educated people to read our laws, understand it, see how it works in your head, and take those laws that are words and transform them into systems that work to give our people life. The Constitution gives Liberian people Liberia life. That's why they call it the life of the nation because the Constitution tells us everything. Who can be president? How long you can stay? Who can be citizen of Liberia? Who cannot be citizen of Liberia? Who can vote? When we can vote? How we can vote? What's process of everything in our country? The process of the ministry. What ministries to form to do things for our people. When the ministry are formed, what the duties of the ministers are. Everything has writing. And that's why the code of conduct was significant and is still significant in Liberian society because it gives us a clear understanding of what our people expect of us as servants of our government. What behaviors we will not tolerate. What behaviors we will tolerate. Even in your personal life, that what Darian said, the code of conduct covers you as a government official and as a private citizen because both of those behaviors got to go hand in hand. You cannot be government official talking about law and order, then you be like the Republicans in America who telling people to go and disobey the law. To go be in one state and go in another state and take your brother address and say that your address so you can run for a position in another state. That's stealing. That's corruption. That's when our leaders have no understanding of our constitution or they do and want to bend it because the masses, our people, are illiterate, can be easily fooled, don't give no regards to law and order. And this is why we need a light. We need a light. There is no light in Liberia. There is no light in the government, in the executive branch. There is no light in the judiciary branch. At least let's have one light somewhere, my people. Our country is full of darkness. All our leaders are dark with corruption, dark with stealing, dark with killing, dark with negativity, and dark with keeping our country. They thumb on our country because they want to steal from Ellen Johnson, who started a coup and started a war in Liberia. Ellen Johnson started the civil war. She is a warlord. She must be brought to justice for what she did in our country. And none of you who support her and think that she is so great will live to see the fruit of Liberia rise. You will never live to see it because you're deceitful. You all know this woman started this civil war. You all know it. And nobody who gave her peace prize or anything will change the fact that she is a murderer of 250,000 Liberian people. She's a murderer of our Ebola people, another 100,000 people. She's a murderer of Liberian people today because of her choice of George Manuel Weah, an illiterate, uneducated, uncivilized, untrained buffoon to lead our nation into the future. How can a Harvard graduate from the world's elite and great institution rule Liberia like a buffoon, like a useless, stupid, ignorant person? And that's how Ellen Johnson Sirleaf led my country. And that's why she must be paid. She must pay for it. Her family must pay for it. Why? Because Ellen wasn't a dummy. She's not like Doe. She's not like nobody in Liberian society. Ellen is the most educated woman in Liberian society across the globe. She's one of, if she's not, she's one of. She led our country as a woman from the most elite institution in the United States of America. And she turned our country over to a useless, slum, idiot, and trash-eating human being who has no clue about life, who has no clue about love and understanding, who has no clue about empathy and sympathy, who has no clue about life for other people. We have a criminal, a useless human being as president of the Republic of Liberia. And this man, his ma, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and all of them must be punished by the Liberian people because the power of our country rests not in rogues and criminals and useless leaders, but in the entirety of the people of the Republic of Liberia. We must integrate. We must unify. We must solidify on a true leadership, on a true guidance and direction, on a true law and justice. That's why Attorney Commander J. Galpohkpa Chesson has no fear coming home and frocking the rogues and putting them in jail for life. The killing will stop. No blood will be shared, because we flock these people to submission, into discipline, into civility, then put them in jail and see what they will do. They will be singing and growing the food for the Liberian people for the rest of their lives. My young children, Attorney Commander Chesson does not joke. Attorney Commander Chesson is not a player. Attorney Commander Chesson does not like people messing around, especially on his time. Aluta! Continua. The time of the Liberian people is now. Vote for Darius Dillon, number 2 on the ballot. And don't back down. The light, a light, must shine in Liberia for changes to come. The light does not shine up, it shines down to enlighten the common people for us to rise. Attorney Commander J. Galpohkpa Chesson of the West African Republic of Liberia's class is done. I'm out of here, my people. Take care, be strong, and know that somebody loves you.